to this episode. Let's see if I'm going to be managing to record an even worse quality recording, because I'm out continuing to scout an ultra run I want to do in March, and it turns out the headphones I've got do not have mics, and I'm just listening. So this is a phone in the pocket, but to be honest, the whole audio quality of this podcast is pretty much that. I wonder how many people persevere, but I can't see myself being one of those people in a studio doing podcasts. It just seems not very conducive to thinking on the spot, which is what I'm doing. I've got plenty of other places where I have to think deeply, say the right thing, check data. But this one, a bit more free flowing, even though I do have some notes today, mental notes, about what I want to talk about. And the first thing is changes. Change. I think it's timely. It's just pushed to 2022, so obviously everything is different now. Everyone can have a new personality, find a way to I can't even straight face doing this. But I did think about helping friends that are trying to make decisions under uncertainty, because that's kind of my general interest, right? So for New Year's, instead of doing resolutions or the Bulgarian tradition of drawing the equivalent of electric charms, electric charms, or they're more like the stuff you get in a Chinese what do you call them, fortune cookie. Yeah. So didn't do that. Thought I'd make it a bit more fun. So got the I Ching. I think it should be pronounced I Ching. The Chinese ancient book of changes, which you're not familiar with, is it's supposed to be helping you when you don't know what to do, and it's long story short, it's a bit like tarot reading. It's woo-woo to an extent, but I try to keep respectful, because there is a Pascal's wager going on there, because if it works, I don't want to not benefit from it, because it definitely worked for me. So it's one of those things where, actually all the other guys that had some reading from that helped them. So I also watched a few lectures on the philosophy of the I Ching, just to try and figure out what the hell it's about. But I did have a friend a long time ago introduced me to it as this idea of asking a really wise old monk on the top of a mountain. That was the image he was drawing. And it's interesting that when you look at the descriptions of the I Ching, because it's how it was compiled, it seems it's compiled knowledge over generations, because different parts of the text seem to be dated from a different time. So in a sense, it can be seen as received wisdom, it can be seen as mysticism, it can also be seen as a type of cross-generational set of heuristics. But then I think I'm trying to force it into the heuristics category, because that's what I'm interested in. So that's what I want to explore. So how you read the I Ching is that you're struggling with a problem that you don't know what to do with, and you ask the question, you very clearly set the question that you've got, and you ask the book and there's methods of asking, and whether you're going to be throwing the bones that they've discovered a long time ago, or do coin flips to establish what you should be reading. I think the purpose of it, listening to some of the philosophy thought around that, was basically you try to remove your subjectivity out of the situation. You accept you're not in control, at least not rationally in control. So what meditators might identify as the small mind, or I guess ego kind of stuff. But then I don't know if that equates to your axiomatic rationality of people having no logical stuff. So when logic can't solve your problem, it makes no sense logically. And the problem situation is not structured. You are not aware of at least one of the three, the beginning, the process, or the end. Then, why not try the tools that are for that? So we did it, we kept it private, but people did say it was helpful, because the way it works, it speaks in broad language. So I guess, how is it different from astrology? At face value it isn't, because it speaks broadly and then you read into it. But no, I don't think there's a rational defense of it. It's properly rational, this. But it helps. Oh yeah, I guess what it does help with is if you have the understanding that your implicit assumptions about the situation could be made explicit by looking at something outside of you. And that's what tarot does, but it's very much identity driven, because the cards have different identities. Yeah. And the I Ching is more about, it's more metaphysical. It talks about the nature of things, the nature of reality, the situation you're in, more broadly. So that makes me think about some of the other stuff I've been paying attention to outside of starting to write for the PhD a bit more seriously over the Christmas period. And it's an interesting course by Marvin Minsky, an AI researcher. I think it was in MIT, where he was having a discussion with a student that asked him why in his lineup of philosophers who wishes list of philosophers he had the ability to chat to, he didn't have any research, and he was very dismissive of Eastern philosophy, and because it didn't develop into science, it was always connected to religion. And I guess it made me think about some of the beliefs that are written, and even if they're not true, why do they make them feel so good? Just stumbled on something by accident. Science is more systematic. But I guess the idea that science operates in a vacuum without the philosophy of its own. But I guess it did make me think of something that felt profound. I've had that thought before. And it was that I think what science is able to do is have a process, not just with acknowledging what's kind of true, well, that was robust, knowledge, so not just the nature of reality and not the knowledge and nature life, but also kind of a way of letting go. Letting go of old science that is no longer into and becomes a history of science. I think the philosophy is wonderful stuff. Call it a history of science. So that's probably something that doesn't exist in a more religious based inquiry, where it's all just accumulated. Confucian philosophy, where I Ching evolved, and you would possibly take away the knowledge of the previous generations. Part of me wants to say sometimes the hubris would just be wondering how much of that would be just thought for act a bit rogue and just really just committed to a code of conduct, which I what good science is, how to use good practices. But the nature of exploring the unknown through the scientific approach is something that I see is really not as prioritized as it used to be. There's a lot to be done in prioritizing getting knowledge to be more robust, whereas kind of natural cool the whole that I might find out one of those rule things, that's how it actually works. Imagine that. Cool. Cool. And I guess with this next topic that I'm not going to think of a clever segue, I'm just going for it, that's for sure. I was just thinking about something to go from the I Ching to AI to Mars, but I've been listening to Elon Musk go to Lex Fridman's podcast, an AI researcher. I don't know what he is, entrepreneur, if you want to say. But he's an engineer, isn't he? So I love watching engineers as well, what they're up to, the hubris they have in explaining away stuff that philosophers and social scientists try to understand in detail. And then in some ways they might get lucky and figure out that surely some of that stuff wasn't amazing and they try to build it instead of understand it. So, but the most interesting thought I've had for a while, for some reason I thought it would be a cool way to present my PhD topic was something that Musk talks about, which is Mars and the mission there. Why I thought it would be cool in a PhD, but I'll probably let that go because I've never get it published. It might be too crazy for no reason. Is to imagine what kind of play the code you So, obviously at this stage, he's more interested in getting there, but I had kept thinking, would that settlement on Mars then, in a topic for geography, I know that geo transport Earth around, but if we're talking about, location and putting people there and all now, what would the sense of place be there? Now these topics, especially detail in geography, and especially with my interest in patterns, how people feel bond to their place, have a tendency to how does it play out when you see not only the sci-fi version of, you know, they're gonna go nuts. You know, the question is how much similarity first in one so that people can judge and not have their umbilical cord belong in the top, but then how much do you let them or love the higher order need to this frontier space. If I'm correct in my understanding, it's always going to be a bit like having a Antarctic space? Jeez, no. The Antarctic science mission. What is it called? The station. And I've been Alright. So it's an interesting thing to ponder. What kind of a place do you want it to be? So if you're going to start from scratch, obviously that was a big drive for people that were on other frontiers, the American frontier, and always the challenge of going to explore type people that are going to go there. You leave it to them to settle. What kind of values would they have? Would they also, for constitution, like America did, that tries to remove the state as this kind of inevitable layering of more and more rules? Interesting. What they must do that law that you gotta have some way of voting for them to stay in, you know, or be removed. I guess that's a similar logic to the one I said about earlier. The science has the level of no longer necessary knowledge, and that more traditionalist fundamentalist way of inspiring around the world, religion, have. And he also had a thought that just by the sheer distance, if the currency on Mars is digital, even if it's digital, it won't be able to send back into Earth to keep transactions. Kind of keep it on the same currency system, so you have kind of separate currency. So then you're talking about that's possible, not just to be a place, but a separate nation. So this then becomes not just for geography, but for public diplomacy. I guess the case of Antarctica is a very interesting one where there are scientists from all countries, but that was not without and then bring me even closer to home for me, thinking about the place brand of Mars. There might be projecting term, you know, there's going to be a vibe of what it's like to be in Mars, but also the important story that will be told back to us Earthlings is the way that scientists in Antarctica are sending messages back to us, you know, telling us what it's like and sharing knowledge. So, would it be always about exploration? It's interesting. I couldn't, I told this down about anything in space until last week. I think now I've got the curiosity. It was just for one shift. And watching, I don't even remember what I was watching. I was talking about how space, outer space, has the curvature. Common knowledge of people. I knew it as well, but they show it a little bit. I know there's gravitational pull, big objects, all that stuff. But just at one point realizing that the sci-fi like jets flying, they're actually going to something that's more curved with a foggy landscapes in it. And I was like, huh, you know, maybe more real. I guess we've never thought, you know, I don't know, it wants to be real. No, like what does it matter? Past. I bet you it doesn't matter. So these are the things I want to talk about. Oh yeah. These are ideas. I just want to have bibs. Someone might have talked about them before me, but I want to have it on record. Came up, go on my own. Someone security design coming up with ideas, or you know that someone like miles ahead of this kind of stuff. I was like, yeah. I have some ideas for it. It's not very scientific. Get it? It's not what I do. It's my day job, but I need freedom of mind to do this as well. And it's just a research project that I think could be fun to do. See what's the experience of scientists doing research. And I think it's probably done, but I think it's a more fundamental thing. It just comes from a place where I think originally people wanted to know more about the universe to live a good life. And I see loads of scientists and smart people that well, you know, we're stuck. I think it's really interesting. Some of the research is very laborious. And then you get into a microbiologist that was telling me that it gave up. Which is just because it was just sitting in the lab and there was no physical study to it. That drainage. So that coupled with, you know, the recent tendency to please just throw science under the bus for the sake of their political views or power struggles. I worry about the people that are really trying hard to figure out what the hell's going on. Because like the kind of research I do, it's, you know, a lot of it's curiosity based or practical, and I get to talk to people, which I get such a buzz out of. You know, like my research sessions are the best thing. When I get to explore with people some topics rather than stare through a telescope. So I don't think everyone's having that experience, but mapping that and comparing, you know, from the bottom up, it could be an interesting study about, you know, practice of science. I think that already exists, but why did I think mine would be different? I think, oh yeah, it would be cool to compare them to philosophers, right? So both are competing for making claims about truth and all that stuff. And I don't know, it could be a nice comparative study. So you're going to go like, not just the which, well, because I guess my assumption now that I'm talking about it is that philosophers might have a better life. No, it's not true, some of them. No? Maybe this is as far as it gets. Bad idea. Bad idea. Some of them are like that. Like you think it's good until you try and write it out or expand on it. And then it's gobshite. Maybe it was. Oh yeah, I was definitely running at the time. Like that. Runner's high going. Maybe I thought I was on something. It's a thing but you know, that's why you gotta then list things out and find out what you really think, test it out. Which actually makes me think about a simple rule of thumb I'm going to leave you with that I found out from a writer. He's a writer in podcast, Michael Mallet. Again, he was an expert in podcast. But he said he's got a pile of scraps when he writes, which I always used to think I should have for the thoughts that like come up as you're writing, and then when you edit you're like, oh, this doesn't fit, maybe I'll use it for something else. So I used to think, oh, I'll then word them into short abstracts, just ready for whenever I come back to it, into my future research program. I actually never get to do that, and I don't want to get distracted, so just created a file called scraps, and it straight away helped me let go of ideas that don't fit the key arguments I'm trying to have in the I'm trying to go through in my PhD thesis. Because I'm going to the literature review again after going to the conference, getting the recommended reading from people that I interacted with, and then I think I'm ready to write out some initial results. And I just then start. That I realized I had a mental block of again thinking that I'm going to write out the results in like one go and sitting rather than as I'm analyzing it right. And the window. I guess, yeah, writing sometimes what I expect it to feel like is what that microbiologist is feeling just watching through the microscope. But when I actually do it, it always feels good. So the expectation doesn't match the reality. Alright, that's it for today.